Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Mercedes-Benz's CES 2024. My name is Katie Linendahl, and I'm your host for today's entertainment update. And today, Mercedes-Benz is presenting its vision for the future of in-car digital entertainment. The focus is going to be on software and entertainment features that are designed to make Mercedes-Benz customers' lives easier and, of course, less stressful. At this time, please welcome Mercedes-Benz Chief Technology Officer Markus Schäfer to the stage.
Hey.
Always good to be joining you at CES, always jam-packed with exciting announcements. And getting right to it, getting started for everyone here in attendance, tell us what this entertainment update today is all about.
Well, it's a very busy day here today, right? Some of you have been here maybe this morning already, and we started to talk about what the future is going to bring to Mercedes-Benz customers. I mean, this is a brand that excites customers for 138 years. Whenever you get in a Mercedes and get out of Mercedes, I mean, you feel special. It's a special moment driving these cars from an aesthetic standpoint, but also from a tech standpoint, but whatever this car gives to you, using it. And it's more than a car, that's what we said this morning. So we're taking the car to the next level. What does it take? It takes enablers. We talked about the enabler MB.OS, our own operating system. And that's why it's so important that we have our own operating system. So the destiny of the car and the brand is in our hands. And that's why we're creating our MB.OS as an enabler, touching all domains. So we talked about navigation. We're creating level 3 cars with our MB.OS system. So giving back time to our customers, enable safe driving. And that's the utmost goal that we have, safe driving, avoid accidents in the future. We talked about the voice assistant this morning. So the car gets, a human personality. It's not only a one-way conversation, just giving tasks. No, you're going to have this conversation with the car. So you get answers. You get emotional answers. We said the empathic conversation we're going to have. So there's so much coming that's touching the senses. Now we go to the interior of the vehicle, and you're in a captive environment. And that's much better than, having a smartphone or having something else device. So this device touches 360 degrees your senses. And that's a wonderful situation. I mean, so you can touch all senses, vision, hearing, scent, whatever, and just combine it and compose it to something very, very special. And that's exactly what we want to talk about this afternoon, how we're going to touch senses and create an experience, a very special experience for our customers that they will get out of the car and say, wow, this is Mercedes-Benz.
And speaking of that very special experience, we have heard the rumors that one of the ways that Mercedes-Benz is going to the next level is by joining up with a very exciting superstar. Is that correct?
Well, these days, as a legacy automaker, we have to energize our organization and the engineering community. So how do you do that? How do you put an engineering organization on their toes? How do you get people out of their comfort zone and create something very special, something unexpected? And connecting the dots, talking to different people, like here on CES, and getting different inputs, and connecting the dots and coming up with a new idea and say, hey, there's something that nobody else has done. It's a little bit crazy maybe, but it's going to blow people away. And I found somebody who was connecting with the brand, who loves the brand, who isn't a brand ambassador, who is a superstar, and he's creative, and he's a software guy, he's an entrepreneur, he understands business, and he's so super creative, and that's how we came together. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us introduce today, as a world premiere, MB.OS Sound Drive. So these are only words right now. So what is Sound Drive all about? So just imagine you're getting all the signals from the car, from steering, from the accelerator pedal, from recuperation, whatever the car does. There's so many signals coming from MB.OS. And what do we do with the signals? We combine them with music and creating a very, very special situation and experience for our customers. and they are in charge, and they feel connected to the car. So they are no longer separated, they become one thing. And the driver, the customer, is in charge, not only for driving, but also for composing. And how that works, I mean, there are better people than me that should explain that.
So excited about Sound Drive. Before we continue that conversation, let's give Marcus Schaefer a big, warm round of applause.
Thank you.
We will see you more in just a few moments, but now we actually have a short video that shows exactly how this works. Have a look.
Imagine a car that's creatively bold. Now imagine a song conducted by the road. Your hand on the steering wheel means music's at hand, and your foot on the pedal means it's time to jam. Sensors reimagined to compose symphonic brilliance. Now car and driver is musician and instrument. Acceleration is the bass line running, running, and running. And recuperation is a beautiful sound like an angel humming. Turn left, turn right, and a melody is sung. And the car suspension moves like a rhythmical drum. Gear and wheel spins a musical reel. The driver conducting the feel-goods, a masterpiece is revealed. The car's alive, making beats while you drive. Down back streets and boulevards, conducting the vibe. We transform transportation, new Technoscoria navigation. This is a melodical journey, song complete when you reach the destination. Welcome to the new age. Autobahn, new craze. Autobahn, new stage. Sound Drive, new wave.
Time to get fired up. And what good is a dynamic announcement without bringing that superstar right to stage? Please bring your hands together for creative innovator, tech entrepreneur, futurist, and philanthropist, will.i.am.
Thank you.
The awesome part of getting the front row view is watching you tap your foot along to the beat during that video. I'm going to let you have the stage and tell us all about this amazing, inspirational journey you've had with Sound Drive. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Before I start explaining my passion, I just want to appreciate the partnership with Mercedes. To work with you guys this close, for you guys to acknowledge and trust my ability to assemble teams and execute ideas is phenomenal and inspirational. I've worked with companies in the past, but have never worked with a company like Mercedes. And your partnership and trust and of engineering, and for engineers to respect and see the value and the potential and talent, you guys are a true beacon of light and an amazing company to be associated and partners with. So thank you so much for believing in the vision of Sound Drive. Now, you would think that this would have been done a long time ago. Taking the sensors from the car, the accelerator, accelerometer, the gyros, the suspension, the steering wheel, the brake, and turning those signals into mechanisms that help you compose and rearrange and create music. It's now that it exists, it's like a no-brainer that it should have happened a long time ago. But thank the Lord that it's now, in 2024, kicking off a brand new renaissance of creativity and what's imaginable. The product is not just for the driver, it's also for the community of music makers. Because now we've expanded what a song can actually be. We're no longer just chasing TikTok algorithms or skip rates on DSPs. Now musicians can create in a lush environmental way where you're thinking of, geoloci, where you're thinking of like communities and people on commutes. This is so freaking revolutionary for our industry. I want to thank people like Hit Boy for providing songs for Sound Drive early on. The community is already adapting and wanting to create. Johnny Goldstein, thank you so much for providing your talent to create these songs. Not only is Sound Drive going to have a community of people making fresh music for Sound Drive, we're going to work our hardest to make sure that we have the plethora of catalog that exists by collaborating with the labels so that we have a new economy for music experiences. So if you think about a download from the places where you download them, whoever has downloads left, or streams, the experience is the same. Whether you download it or stream it, on Sound Drive, it's a brand new experience. So that's healthy for our community, it's healthy for music makers, music lovers, and commuters. People that are commuting out there in their vehicle every single day, taking the same route. And if you think about the route that you take every day, every time you drive, you're driving just a little bit differently. You just don't know the nuances because there hasn't been anything to capture the little nuances. How long you stayed at the light, how you made that left turn. The same left turn you make every day on Sound Drive is more colorful, more expressive, more invigorating. This will change how we make music, how we listen to music, and how you drive. Thank you so much. Let's go. New Renaissance. Booyah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Marcus, I'd love you to join us back on stage and just have a conversation about where Sound Drive is going. Obviously, we're all fired up listening to Will. Why was this important for Mercedes-AMG?
Well, AMG is our speedboat, and AMG is all about emotions, right? The emotions are high in AMG, the most emotional cars, and I think you're a customer of AMG as well. I mean, that is a great, great fit. And that's why the collaboration started with AMG. But I think we don't want to prevent all the Mercedes community one day also to benefit from what you are creating with us together here. So, but we're going to start first with AMG. It fits so great to the brand.
And for you too, this was the perfect fit, the perfect collaboration.
What introduced me to Mercedes is hip hop. My favorite hip hop artists had Mercedes on their album covers. Eric B. and Rakim, EPMD. Hip hop told me about Mercedes. I dreamt coming out of the ghetto to one day have a Mercedes. So to come this far from music, being influenced and inspired by my heroes, to now working with what was the beacon of success, going from dreams to aspirations to materializing those aspirations. This is the perfect vehicle for a collaboration. And a lot of people might think, well, Mercedes got will.i.am to be the face of this technology. No, Mercedes empowered me to go out and find an engineering team to execute this vision. And then our engineers work with Mercedes engineers. That, I don't know any other company that works like that. And it's so inspiring on my entrepreneurial path and the contribution, what it points to for the kids that I support in the inner city, teaching them robotics and computer science with I Am Angel. And Mercedes has done that with us in the past with the Flip, and the proceeds went to build more robotic centers in inner cities. So it's all purposeful, all inspirational, all pushing culture and futurism forward.
I love that a big part of what you do is philanthropic and giving back.
Yes.
That's awesome. The write-ups have been so incredible in the press, too. They're saying seeing inside and being inside is believing it. And one of the great advantages, obviously, of being here at CES is you actually get to experience the technology. Is that correct, Marcus?
Yeah, absolute. But before I forget that, I don't want to do your speech, but you said something very important yesterday. And if you go to a club where you don't hear the same song every time again and again in the club, right? So what does the DJ do? The DJ just alters the song and creates something new. And that's something we're transferring in the car, right?
Yeah, the driver now does what a DJ does when you go out and experience music. The DJ never plays the song the same way every night. If you do, that's not a good DJ. And the only time music is altered and alive is either when the band plays it live or when you go to a club and you experience the alteration of music. And when you go into your car, it's the same. You press play or you listen to a stream, it will not alter. If you're speeding up or you're slowing down, it does not alter. If you want it on loop, it doesn't really loop in a full loop, even if you have it on repeat. On sound drive, it will always morph. But the person that's morphing and altering it is you, only doing the thing that you do every single day. You don't have to learn a new skill or a new task, you just drive. And by driving, you're experiencing sound drive and having a lush relationship with music and your route.
But Will, we can stand here all day and explaining it, but I think the real thing is, to experience it and get in the car, and that's exactly what we are providing here. So we have a test fleet here. So get in the car, test it in the AMG, and tell us your opinion. And there's a box here also where you can experience it in a simulator, what sound drive means.
Stay with me here too, Marcus, because I think a big question is, when is this going to be available to customers? We're all seeing it. We want to know, when can we get hands-on with it?
Well, we said so many times you have to wait for the MBOS full implementation. No, you don't have to, because we are able to OTA that by starting mid of this year already, thanks to the electronic system we have at the moment here, so much capable. So we're going to see it already mid of 24.
We'll close us out here. Could talk to you for hours, of course. In terms of future and what to expect with Mercedes and with what you're doing with sound drive, any teases? We've got a lot in the present moment, but you're always looking ahead. You're an innovator.
Expanding on the tool. So sound drive is one product, that's actually two. That's the user experience when you're in the car, but then also the creative tool. And I can't wait to collaborate with people in my community like Hit Boy and Johnny Goldstein to make drives. Like, yes, we're going to make songs, we'll make music videos, but with sound drive, we're going to create audio journeys and drives. And that is a whole new revolution. And I believe from sound drive, a new genre could come. Every time there's a new piece of technology, it creates a new genre. Without the amplifier and electric guitar, you won't have rock. Without an 808 and turntables, you won't have hip hop. Without the step sequencer, you can't have techno. Without sound drive, you cannot have what that person out there is going to create, and a whole new genre will come from sound drive.
Amazing. Marcus, you're always bringing in the best of the best innovators.
Great fit. Great to have you on board.
Marcus, Will.i.am, let's give him a big warm round of applause. Thank you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
We just got the party started. Now it's time for me to introduce the second half of our in-car entertainment update. We're going to talk about in-car gaming enhancements along with video streaming and music technology. So to explain more about these new features, please welcome Mercedes-Benz Chief Software Officer, Magnus Osberg, to stage. Exciting stuff here on the show floor. The new E-Class is the first Mercedes to get the MBUX and infotainment system, and with it, Magnus, you have just opened up this whole new world of possibilities when it comes to in-car entertainment. Everyone here would probably love to know, what is the strategy and what can the customer expect to see? Lots of questions.
Well, you're right to mention the E-Class because it is such an important car for us. It's the first time that we're bringing out one of the pieces of the MBOS into series production. It's already here on the show floor and it's already out on the customer's hands. It is now the first time we bring the infotainment domain that we're coming from the MBOS out into the world. That E-Class offers you a glimpse of what the MBOS really offers, right? So it is intelligent, it's intuitive, it has stunning graphics, it's full of multitasking capabilities, and it really brings the data that Will and Marcus talk about to life. We're all, of course, connected it already to our mic, to our cloud, so that we can enjoy streaming, if that is audio or video, social apps, gaming, and of course, video conferencing as well. And the important thing is that we need to keep this vehicle fresh. So Marcus talked about the OTA capability for sound drive. We're going to continue to bring out new features and capabilities into the vehicle fleet that we have out there with this, with the OTA capabilities. And so that we keep the content fresh, the vehicles fresh, and that we have tailored features based on the regional needs. Every region is different, every customer is different, every driver is different, right? So we need to make sure that we can provide that content out in the different areas. In Europe, some of those apps that we're bringing out is just booking, get abstract, just eat, but in China, completely different set of apps. And one app that I am particularly a heavy user of is video conferencing. So I'm happy to announce Microsoft Teams is now available also in the E-Class. So we're constantly working, of course, to adding more. This is just a small sample. We're going to have premium apps that make sense for our customers to enrich the content.
Very exciting stuff. Expanding on third-party portfolios is a huge part of this too, but when it comes to gaming, you are excited about introducing a whole new aspect into the gaming side of things.
Yeah, that's right. We are driving, as we said this morning, towards a more autonomous situation where the customers then lowers in level 3s and they can go as well. But what we also see is that we have a huge demand from our customers also at standstill to have a more immersive interaction entertainment to the content we're having there. So gaming is such an important piece of that. And so we started with a collaboration with Antstream Arcade to bring retro games into our portfolio. So I played those games when I was a kid with the controllers. Of course, you can use a controller, regardless if you're sitting in the front, or if you're sitting in the back, or if you're in level 3, you can even play it in the driver's seats. But that's not it. You know, just like on the sound side, to have creativity, this needs to come into the gaming as well. So our developers, they are maybe not as inventive as William, but that they're getting there. They have already thought about how to use interior vehicle sensors and actuators to create game mechanisms that create the vehicle not only as a duplicate of what you play at home, but a new gaming experience, a new immersive gaming experience. And we're showcasing that in the E-Class here today. So to step into the future of immersive video gaming, we really want to have this interface that enables so many interactive possibilities. So we've considered a high range of things to do here. And really exciting to see how video controllers and gamers can accept that to the next level. But enough me talking about it, because you really cannot get a feel for it. So we invited Justin C., a content creator, to try this new game. And here's his girlfriend, Alex, is try the game. So I would say, let's have a look at C-Day Gaming and see what they do.
Let's check it out.
My name is Justin Say, and I'm standing in front of the new Mercedes E-Class, and I'm going to show you the Vision Immersive Gaming Experience. Let's go check it out. So the Vision Immersive Gaming is simple. I'm navigating through the tunnel using the steering wheel and the amazing steering capabilities of the modern Mercedes vehicles, while also trying to see the obstacles and avoiding them. Because if I hit an obstacle, I'll feel the vibration in the seat, and as I reach different checkpoints of the tunnel, it actually shows the color of tunnel that I should go through based on the interior ambient lighting.
That's amazing, right?
And as you can see, Justin and Alex, they quite enjoy it. And I'm proud to say that this game was developed in-house.
Nice.
And it's leveraging, of course, the MBUX power that we're putting into the vehicle. And this is just the start, because we're working together with, of course, gaming companies and other creators to create new interactive games for the vehicles going forward into the future.
It was so cool to see it integrated right into the vehicle. And I saw you get really excited about that game. Imagine you tested that out too.
Yeah, but I suck at it.
I don't think you're bad at anything.
Well, gaming is not my thing, so.
We'll stay tuned for you to get better at it.
All right.
I want to switch gears a little bit to something that is just as popular as gaming these days, which many people have on their minds, which of course is video streaming. And Magnus, Mercedes-Benz has taken this aspect of in-car infotainment to the next level when it comes to video streaming.
Yeah, that's right. of course, we've already have video streaming in our cars, we have YouTube and so forth, but we really wanted to elevate that and add more video streaming content. So with our next collaboration with Sony Pictures Entertainment, we're putting their ride view services to our customers. That means that the customers can then rent and buy movies directly from their vehicles, just adding to the selections in the Mercedes-Benz.
Amazing. And I think the customers, never going to want to get out of the car with all this infotainment, but we've discussed now streaming, gaming, third-party apps. But finally, what can you tell us a little bit more? I know you have an exciting announcement when it comes to in-car entertainment, beyond music, spoken word audio.
Yeah, you're right. So we have some big news here, right? So the next level of award-winning entertainment you can expect to get in a Mercedes-Benz is with us, right? We've set the stage already with the world-class 4D experience with our partners Burmeister and Dolby. We did that a couple of years ago. Last year at CES, we announced that we were adding Dolby Atmos to that experience, making it a immersive sound experience. And it really has rocked a lot of our customers who've tried it. So it's an immersive sound. So next, we want to deliver the same things with audio storytelling.
So this is incredibly exciting. How is this exactly going to be done?
Well, it's a new, unique cooperation with Audible, Mercedes, and Amazon Music. And it will truly transform the way you listen to podcasts, audiobooks, music tracks in the car. Put it simply, it's the next chapter in spoken word audio content.
Amazing stuff. Big round of applause. Magnus Osberg, amazing stuff and continuing advancements on infotainment. Now, to get us into the very first story, if you will, we'd like to introduce to you, Magnus and I, a very special guest to stage. He has been creating award-winning audio storytelling for more than 30 years, and he is passionate about finding new ways to transform the audio experience. So on behalf of Magnus and I, please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for one of the most celebrated storytellers of our time, Dirk Maggs. I got to see a little of Dirk behind the scenes. This is something that is so exciting to be here on stage. I'm going to let you have it. Take it away. Good to hear from you.
Thank you very much. I'm here in the same way that Will is. I'm here because we're talking about evolution. Will is dealing with the evolution of music. My career has all been about the evolution of the audiobook. I think we all are familiar with the feeling of sitting in our driveway long after the journey has ended, wanting to hear the end of the story we're listening to, whether it's an audiobook or a podcast. Sound has the ability to enter and absorb you. And the wonderful thing about telling stories in sound, whether you're just telling a story to your kid at night, or you're listening to one being told to you, is the fact that the optic nerve is bypassed completely. It goes in through the side door, and it creates a picture on the screen of your mind. And that's what fascinates me, has done ever since. I've worked in television, I've worked in film, but I ended up back in audio because it's just the greatest medium to tell stories in as far as I'm concerned. So much so that when Audible stepped up and after 30 years allowed Neil Gaiman and I to make The Sandman as a series of audiobooks, which is still continuing, we won. Our first series were the #1 New York Times best-selling audiobook and broke all records for shifting units of multicast audiobooks, which was hugely exciting because I started 3 decades ago when we couldn't interest anyone in the idea of doing The Sandman. But the thing is, it has been an evolutionary progress, and in those 3 decades, when I was doing Batman Nightfall and Superman for BBC Radio in the 1990s, and developing the idea that stories didn't just have to be a single voice reading or a cozy old-time radio drama. We could use the grammar of film to tell a story. We could use microphone setups like you would in a movie studio use camera setups. We could cut from close-ups to medium shots to long shots. We could travel the world. Audio is that free a medium. And in doing so, we attracted headline talent to this. So Brian May of Queen wrote the music for our Spider-Man series in 1995 because he was so enthusiastic about what we were doing. John Landis allowed us to remake and expand An American Werewolf in London in 1997 because we got Jenny Agutter and we got the rest of the cast in to remake the movie, but for your ears, and also to tell a little bit of backstory. And best of all for me was the fact that Douglas Adams, hearing this stuff, actually rang my boss and said, "This guy Dirk, do you think he'd like to bring the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy back home to radio where it all began?" Well, I was round his house banging on his front door before he'd hung up the phone. I was that quickly wanting to get into that. Now, you know, it's not just musical talent and producing talent that come into audio. We also have acting talent. Just over 10 years ago, I was sat in the basement of Broadcasting House, BBC in London, and next to me was Natalie Dormer. Then there was James McAvoy, Sophie Okonedo, Benedict Cumberbatch, Bernard Cribbins, Andrew Sachs, David Harewood, and Sir Christopher Lee. All of them in a drafty cold basement drinking cold cups of BBC tea because they loved the medium. And I said to James McAvoy when we took a tea break, I said, "Why are you here? Why do you want to be here when you could be earning telephone numbers in Los Angeles?" He said, "Because I fucking love this stuff." And that's the beauty of audio. The actors love working in it. It's a realm of pure imagination. I love working in it. And when Douglas said, "Let's make Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy," Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, if you don't know, was a groundbreaking bit of radio back in 1978. It was so ambitious in so many ways. It was the first time that that department had made a stereo program, a comedy program. But the thing was that Douglas and I immediately said, we've got to do this in Dolby Surround. We've got to use Dolby's system to make the sound amazing and groundbreaking, and it's going to be like a rock album for the ears, and you're going to fly into that world. Well, 30 years later, I'm so sad Douglas isn't here to see what Mercedes have done with the sound systems in these vehicles. You have true Dolby Atmos in the environment that you are in. It is a true theatrical environment, and you are going to find yourself blown away traveling across the galaxy with Douglas or going into the realms of the dream with Neil Gaiman. Either way, I'm afraid to say you're going to spend an awful lot more time sitting in your driveway listening to stuff. Thank you.
Give it up for Dirk Meggs. Great job. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. And now I'd like to say the plot thickens, so to speak. Please welcome and joining me back, Magnus Osberg to the stage. And joining him also is Steve Boom, Amazon VP for Audio, Twitch, and Games. Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you? All right, welcome, gentlemen. So first and foremost, new collaboration that we have to talk about here today at CES. Tell us all about the inspiration behind it. Magnus, I'll start with you.
Well, thank you. Well, as we just heard from Dirk here, there's a lot of power in the spoken word audio and real magic in storytelling. So we are just at the beginning of this incredible story. So this collaboration goes far beyond just listening to traditional music in that sense. It will enhance the in-car experience and growing our digital and infotainment offerings massively. And ensuring that this is a seamless connections with preferred music or podcast apps, we're integrating all of this into this multi-sensor experience of the MBOS, so you can experience like you have never experienced it before.
Wonderful. And over to you, Steve. In terms of the collaboration, I'd love to hear from your point of view how this was instrumental with Amazon.
Well, it's all about immersive entertainment. And Amazon has been focused on Dolby Atmos as a technology for the last 5 years. We're the first company to launch Atmos on a streaming stick for video, the first to launch it in a speaker, the Echo Studio, the first music service to support Dolby Atmos in Amazon Music, the first podcasting service in Wondery to build podcasts in Atmos, and now Audible as well. And for us, the car is the living room. And to bring together the leader in immersive audio storytelling, along with the best spatial audio technology and the leader in who's bringing that into the automotive environment, which is, like I said, the living room for audio, is the partnership made in heaven.
A lot of best of the best all working together
That's right.
in collaboration. And I have to say, as an avid reader and podcast fan, as many here are, it's great to hear that alongside music and the selection of Audible and Amazon Music, spoken word is just, the content is growing so quickly. And Steve, I'm curious that what can customers expect from this collaboration?
Well, right out of the gate, you already will have access to the largest catalog of spoken word audio and the largest catalog of spoken word immersive audio in Dolby Atmos. And I think to go back to what Dirk was saying, the importance of this in audio storytelling is really huge. So if you think about it, when you're watching a movie and there's Dolby Atmos, it brings the images that your eyes are seeing to life. But when you're listening, it brings the images that your mind is forming to life. And in audio, when you don't have those visual cues, having that audio separation, you can hear this voice over here, that voice over here, you can hear rainfall or whatever behind you. It actually makes the story so much richer, and you can really understand what's going on and allow yourself to be completely immersed in it while driving. And I think what we're going to see, this is what we saw in music when Atmos came out, is we're going to see an inflection in content creation. Okay, so right now, people have not been building audio content with Dolby Atmos in mind, but it takes a leader in bringing it to the marketplace, both on the content side and on the device side. It's the first time I've heard a car called a device, by the way, but I feel like I can say that now. And it takes that to where content creators can express their imagination. And we are going to see an explosion of content. You're going to see audio storytelling fundamentally change going from here forward.
Exciting. And Magnus, from your point of view, different to hear Steve's perspective, but for the customer perspective on your end, on the Mercedes side, what benefits can they expect to be brought from this collaboration?
Well, as I've said in a couple of interviews, what we're trying to do here at Mercedes is we want to make 1 plus 1 equals more than 2. So we want to really elevate the experience. So of course you want to have the same content as you can find in your digital devices or your TVs, but we really want to lift it to the next level and really have that immersive experience that you can get nowhere else. So you just cannot stop being in that chamber, in that environment, and just sit in the drive and continue to listen to it. So that's really what we expect from this collaboration.
Yeah, if you haven't checked it out in one of the cars,
Yes.
I implore you to do so. It is absolutely mind-blowing.
I always like to say that's one of the benefits of being here
absolutely.
at CES. And just to look ahead for a moment, Magnus, how will this work from the customer perspective? You talked a little bit about it in vehicle and an overarching perspective, but really getting into some specific examples from the customer side.
Yeah, so if you already have a car, a Mercedes-Benz, that has the latest MBUX, that would be an EQS or an EQE, even the new E-Class, you can expect that later this year we will be able to download and OTA the capabilities so that you can listen to all of that in your system. And that's the first part of the rollout. So this stunning experience can really be then adopted and used. Of course, you need to have your Mercedes support the Burmeisters, so the 4D audio. Otherwise, you don't have the physical capabilities to experience it.
And back to Steve's point, the saying goes, you have to hear it to believe it. Yep. So as Marcus said earlier, we have some live demos here today. Magnus just alluded to that, Steve as well. They're right around the corner. Please test it out and experience it for yourselves. And after the talk here at the booth. So I have one final question for you. Rollout. Everybody hears these exciting announcements, and then they're like, wait. When do we get to see it actually in action? Magnus?
Yeah, the rollout starts, as I said, later 2024 from the OTA capabilities, and the rollout for content.
This year, so later this year.
Fabulous. So this is just the start, Steve. I think we're exciting partnership, and here it goes. Announcements here at CES, very exciting. I'd like to give them both a big, warm round of applause. Steve and Magnus, thank you for sharing the latest in infotainment.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, I think we can all agree that Mercedes-Benz is transforming in-car entertainment in ways that we never thought were possible. A huge thank you to will.i.am for being with us here and giving us fantastic insight into MBUX Sound Drive. Also, thanks to Dirk Maggs for his inspiring insights in the art of storytelling. And lastly, of course, to Steve Boom for his comments on the Amazon Music and Audible collaboration with Mercedes-Benz. And finally, thank you to our Mercedes-Benz executives, Marcus Schaefer, Magnus Osberg, for their time today. And of course, thank you all for joining us. I'm Katie Linendahl, and on behalf of Mercedes-Benz here at CES 2024, stay tuned.